Hi, welcome to my journey. This is Miss Carr, and I am inviting you to learn with me. Are you ready? Let's go! Hello. Today we will answer some word problems and we will apply our skills and knowledge about adding and subtracting integers in real life scenarios. Okay? A submarine starts out at 135 feet below sea level. It dives 239 feet before rising 307 feet. Represent the current depth of the submarine. Okay, so yung hanapin natin is yung current depth of the submarine or kung nasaan na ngayon yung submarine. Okay? So, ang nangyari, nag-start daw siya na nandun siya sa ilalim ng tubig, ilalim ng dagat, at nandun siya sa 135 feet. Okay? So, ito yun. So, since nasa ilalim, ibig sabihin, yung sign ng feet niya is negative. Alright? And then, nag-dives daw siya ng 200 feet. Nag-dives, ibig sabihin, mas lumalim pa siya. So, ibig sabihin na nadagdagan ng negative 239 feet yung sukat niya. So, currently, nandito na yung submarine, right? Nung nag-dive siya. And yung sukat dito, since parehas negative to, ibig sabihin, nadagdagan yung negative niya. So, nandun siya sa negative 354 or 374 feet. Okay? So, then nag-rise daw siya ng 307 feet. So, ibig sabihin, umakyat siya. So, that's why it's positive kasi hindi na siya pailalim, kundi pataas na siya. Okay? So, ang tanong is, anong sukat na ngayon ni submarine? Nasaan na daw siya? So, since we have dito, we have negative 374 and umakyat siya ng 307. So, currently, nandun na siya sa 67 feet below sea level. Okay? So, negative pa rin siya kasi nandun pa rin siya sa ilalim ng dagat. Alright? So, that is the current depth of the submarine. The highest recorded temperature on Earth is 136 degree Fahrenheit. The lowest is negative 129 degree Fahrenheit. What is the difference between these temperatures? Okay, so hinahanap is yung difference, okay? Nung highest recorded temperature at saka yung lowest recorded temperature. So since ang keyword is different, so the operation is subtraction. But basically, ang hinahanap lang dyan is yung distance between highest temperature and the lowest temperature. So, kung sa number line, ika-count mo yung distance nila, ang sagot lang dyan is 265 degree Fahrenheit. Okay? So, yan yung distance nila. But if you will do the operation, so minus yung gagamitin. So, 136 minus negative 129. 'Di ba? Ang ibig lang sabihin naman when we minus integers, ibig sabihin we add the opposite. So add, ibig sabihin tong minus magiging add, and then the opposite of negative is positive. So it will become 136 plus 129, and the answer is 265. So that is the difference or the distance between 136 and negative 129 degree Fahrenheit. How far is the number from 0? Absolute value of 3, negative 2, 9 minus 3. Okay, so when we say absolute value, yan lang yung distance ng number or ng integer from 0. Okay, so we have here absolute value of 3. Ibig sabihin yung distance ni 3 mula kay 0. And that is 3. Okay? And then, absolute value of negative 2. So, yung distance ni negative 2 mula kay 0. And the distance is just 2. Pag kinount mo yung step, right? And absolute value of 9 minus 3. So, first, do the operation. 9 minus 3, that is 6. Okay? So, absolute value of 6. So, yung distance ni 6 mula kay 0. And that is 6 steps, right? So, when we say, again, absolute value, that is only the distance of the integer mula dun sa 0. And since we're talking about distance, there is no sign for that. Okay? So that is absolute numbers. At 8 a.m., the temperature was -7 degrees Fahrenheit. At noon, the temperature rose 9 degrees. What was the temperature at noon? Okay? So, hanapin natin kung ano na daw yung temperature at noon. Alright? Kung 8 a.m. daw, ang temperature is -7 degree Fahrenheit, and then it rose. So, ibig sabihin, nadagdagan or tumaas ng 9 degrees. Okay? So, the keyword there, since it rose, tumaas, ibig sabihin, the operation is addition. Alright? So, kung gagamitin natin yung number line, so, ito daw yung temperature at 9 a.m. So, it rose, nadagdagan. So, ibig sabihin, yung line natin, yung movement natin is pakanan, right? So, mula dito, punta tayong pakanan ng 9 steps. And, mag-stop tayo sa +2 degree Fahrenheit. Alright? So, if we'll do the operation, so we have -7 plus 9, that is 2 degree Fahrenheit. So, that is the temperature at noon. A submarine is situated 300 feet below sea level. If it rises 125 feet, what is the new position? Okay, so alamin natin kung ano na daw yung position or kung saan na yung submarine after niya mag-rise ng 125 feet kung nagsimula siya ng 300 feet below sea level. Okay, so this is the submarine. So, dito siya nag-start sa 300 feet below sea level. So, again, it's negative kasi nasa ilalim siya ng dagat. Okay? And then, sabi dyan, it rises. So, tumaas siya. So, hindi siya umilalim. So, tumaas. Ibig sabihin, that is positive. Okay? And, so, currently, nandito na siya ngayon sa -175 feet. Negative pa rin kasi nasa ilalim pa rin siya ng dagat. Okay? So, if we do the operation, so we have -300 plus 125 kasi nga umakyat, it rises. So, the answer is -175 feet. Okay? So, that is the new position of the submarine. A submarine is situated at 250 feet below the sea level and sinks 75 feet. What is the new position of the submarine? Okay, so alamin natin kung nasaan na or ano yung new position of the submarine after niya mag-sink ng 75 feet at nag-start siya ng 250 feet below the sea level. Okay? So, ito yung submarine. Dito siya nagsimula sa 250 feet below sea level. Negative kasi nandun na siya sa ilalim ng dagat. Okay? And then, nag-sink or lumalim pa siya. Lumubog pa siya ng 75 feet. So, that is negative kasi nga, lalo pa siyang lumalim. So, nandun na siya sa hindi naman pinakailalim, pero lumalim pa siya, so nandun na siya sa 325 feet below sea level. Okay, so that is the current new position of the submarine. Again, that is negative kasi nandun pa rin siya sa ilalim ng dagat. The temperature at 7 a.m. was 6 degree Fahrenheit. At 3 a.m., the temperature decreased 13 degrees. What was the temperature at 3 a.m.? Okay, so alamin natin yung temperature at 3 a.m. Kung sa 7 a.m. daw, 6 degree Fahrenheit. At pagdating ng 3 a.m., nababawasan daw ng 13 degrees. Okay? So, if we're gonna use the number line, so nag-start tayo sa 6 degree Fahrenheit and then mababawasan. Okay? So, since nabawasan ang movement natin is pakaliwa. So, mag-step tayo pakaliwa ng 13 steps at mag-stop tayo sa -7 degree Fahrenheit. Okay? So, this will be the temperature at 3 a.m. Okay? So, if we do the operation, so since ang keyword natin decrease, the operation is subtraction. So, you have 6 minus 13. So, again, if we minus integers, that means add the opposite. So, yung minus, it will become add, and then the opposite of +13, that is -13. So, now we have 6 plus -13, and the answer is -7 degree Fahrenheit. So, that will be the temperature at 3 a.m. The highest recorded temperature on Earth is 137 degree Fahrenheit. The lowest is -119 degree Fahrenheit. What is the difference between these temperatures? Okay, so we're gonna look for the difference ng temperature which is highest recorded and the lowest recorded, okay? So if we're gonna use the number line, so this is the highest recorded temperature, and this is the lowest recorded temperature. So if you're gonna get the difference, it means you're just gonna get the distance between them, okay? So you'll just get the or count the steps, and the answer is 256, okay? So if we're gonna do the operations, so ang keyword natin is difference, so the operation is subtraction. So we have 137 minus negative 119. Again, if we subtract integers, ibig sabihin lang nun is we add the opposite. So the minus will become add, and the opposite of negative 119 is positive 119. Okay? So 137 plus 119, the answer is 256. So that is the difference between the temperature 137 degree Fahrenheit and negative 119 degree Fahrenheit. A submarine starts out at 125 feet below sea level. It dives 249 feet before rising 207 feet. Represent the current depth of the submarine as an integer. Okay, so hanapin lang natin kung ano yung current depth or nasaan na yung submarine after niya mag-dive ng 249 feet at nag-rise siya or umakyat siya ng 207 feet. Okay? So, the submarine starts 125 feet below sea level. Okay, so negative siya kasi below sea level or nasa ilalim siya ng dagat. And then it dives. So lalo pa siyang lumalim at lumalim siya ng 249 feet. So negative pa rin kasi nga mas lumalim. Okay? So ngayon, after niyang mag-dive, nag-rise siya or umakyat siya ng 207 feet. So, hindi na siya lumalim. So, umakyat, ibig sabihin positive na yung sign niya. Okay? So, the current depth of the submarine is 167 feet below sea level. So, negative pa rin siya kasi nandun pa rin siya sa ilalim ng dagat. Okay? So, if we do the operation, so we have negative 125 and negative 249. So, combine that two negatives, so you have negative 374, then plus 207, so that is yung nag-rise siya. So, again, we have the same answer, negative 167 feet. Okay? You take 7 steps forward and 9 steps backward. How many steps have you taken? Okay, so what we need to do is we will start at 0 and then sabi dyan, nag-steps forward daw tayo. So, pakanan. Okay? 7 steps, so mag-stop tayo dito sa positive 7. From that place, sabi dyan, 9 steps backward. So, from 7, nag-9 steps tayo and nag-stop tayo sa negative 2. Okay? So, the answer is negative 2. Alright? So, if we do the operation, so since we have forward na 7, so that is positive 7, and then we have 9 steps backward, that is negative 9. So, that is 7 minus 9. So, again, subtracting integers means adding the opposite. So, minus will become add, and then the opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. So, 7 plus negative 9, the answer is negative 2. So, from 0 until negative 2, so that is the steps. Okay, so that is negative 2. A golfer shots negative 4 on his first round, 2 on his second round, and negative 7 on his third round. What was his total score after all 3 rounds? So, alamin natin yung total score after 3 rounds. Kung ang score na nakuha niya sa umpisa is negative 4, and then positive 2, and then negative 7. Okay, so we'll just combine them. So, negative 4 plus 2, so we have negative 2, and then bring down negative 7. So, negative 2 minus 7. Okay? So, again, if we minus integers, it means adding the opposite. So, the minus will become add, and then positive 7 will become negative 7. So, we have negative 2 plus negative 7. So, basically, dumami lang yung negative. So, the answer is negative 14. So, that is his total scores after 3 rounds. The high temperature one day was 6 degrees. The low temperature was negative 9 degrees. What was the difference between the high and the low temperature? Okay, so we're asking for the difference between high temperature and low temperature. So this is the high temperature, 6 degree. And then the low temperature is negative 9 degrees. So when we say difference, that is only their distance. So yung kakount mo yung step papunta dito sa negative 9, that is 15. Okay? So if we do the operation, so yung keyword natin is difference, so the operation is subtraction. So we have now 6 minus negative 9. So again, if we minus integers, let's just add the opposite. So the minus will become add, and the negative 9 will be positive 9. So 6 plus 9, that is 15. Okay, so that is the difference between the high and low temperature. The temperature dropped 13 degrees in an hour. If the starting temperature was 15 degrees, what was the final temperature? Okay, so hanapin natin yung final temperature. Kung nag-start daw siya sa 15 degrees at nag-drop, so ibig sabihin, bumaba. So, in the number line, the movement is pakaliwa. So, nag-drop siya ng 13 steps, so mag-stop siya ngayon sa positive 2. Okay, so that is the final temperature, 2 degrees. Alright? So, if we do the operation, the keyword there is yung drop. So, the operation is subtraction. So, we have 15 minus 13. So, it's just easy, right? It's 2. But again, if we will apply the principle that subtracting integers just means adding the opposite, so subtraction will become addition, and then the opposite of positive 13 is negative 13. Okay? So, 15 plus negative 13, the answer is 2. An airplane at 20,000 feet drops 1,000 feet in altitude. What is the new altitude? Okay, so we're talking about an airplane and tinatanong dyan yung altitude or saan na siya dun sa himpapawid or saan na, ano yung sukat niya na dun sa taas. Okay, from the level ground, okay, or the ground level. So, nag-start siya, nandun siya sa 20,000 feet and nag-drop siya. Ibig sabihin, bumaba siya ng 1,500 feet. So, negative yung sign kasi nga bumaba. So, nabawasan yung altitude niya. So, the new altitude of the airplane is 18,500 feet. Okay? Bakit positive? Kasi nandun pa rin naman siya sa himpapawid. Nasa taas pa rin naman siya. Okay? So, if we do the operation, or yeah, the operation, the keyword there is drops. So, bumaba. So, the operation that we will use is subtraction. So, we have now 20,000 minus 1,500. So, the answer is 18,500 feet. So, that is the new altitude of the airplane. An airplane is flying over the pond 2,000 feet in the air. The bottom of the pond is 50 feet below ground level. What is the difference between the highest and the lowest points of the airplane and the pond? Okay, so we're talking about the difference of the highest and lowest points of the airplane and the pond, or simply the distance of the airplane and the bottom of the pond, okay? So just imagine this is the pond, okay? And sabi dyan, yung airplane daw, nandun siya sa taas ng pond na 2,000 feet, okay? So, and then yung bottom or pinakailalim ng pond is 50 feet. Negative siya kasi nga nasa ilalim. Okay? So, when we're asking for the difference between the highest and the lowest points, so kukunin mo lang yung distance. So, kung ika-count mo yung distance nila, it is just 2,050 feet. Okay? So, if we do the operation, ang keyword natin is yung difference. So, the operation is subtraction. So, we have now 2,000 minus negative 50. Okay? Negative 50 kasi nga, this is below ground level or nasa ilalim siya ng pond. Okay? So, again, subtracting integers, it means adding the opposite. So, the minus will become positive and the opposite of negative 50 is positive 50. So, we have now 2,000 plus 50 and the answer is 2,050 feet. So, that is the difference between the highest and the lowest points. Okay? Yesterday, the temperature was 63 degrees and today it dropped by 7 degrees. What was the temperature today? So, ano yung temperature today kung nag-drop daw siya by 7 degrees? Okay? So, nag-start tayo yesterday ng 63 degrees. Okay? And then nag-drop, it means bumaba. So, sa number line, ang movement is pakaliwa. So, bumaba ng 7 steps. So, mag-stop tayo sa positive 56 degrees. Okay? So, the answer is 56 degrees. Now, if we do the operation, the keyword there is drop, so it means the operation is subtraction. So we have 63 minus 7. Basically, that is only 56, right? But if we apply that minus integer is just adding opposite, so we have 63 plus negative 7, and the answer is still 56. So that is the temperature today. The highest point reaches 350 feet and the lowest point is at 200 feet below sea level. What is the difference between the highest and lowest point? Okay, so we're asking for the difference of the highest and the lowest point. So basically, the highest point is 350 feet and the lowest point is negative 200 feet. Okay? Again, negative siya kasi nandun siya sa below sea level or nasa ilalim. So, when we are asking for the difference, so, kukunin lang natin yung distance nila. Okay? So, kung i-count natin yan, so, the answer is 550 feet. Okay? So, if we do the operation, the keyword there is difference. So, the operation is minus or subtraction. So, we have 350 minus negative 200. So, again, that is adding the opposite. So, the minus will become add. And the opposite of negative 200 is positive 200. So we have 350 plus 200 and the answer now is 550 feet. So that is the difference between the highest and the lowest point. At the desert weather station, the temperature at sunrise was 11 degrees Celsius. It rose 23 degrees Celsius by noon. What is the temperature at noon? Okay, so hanapin natin yung temperature at noon. Kung nag-start ng 11 degrees Celsius at tumaas daw siya ng 23 degrees Celsius by noon. Okay? So, let's use the number line. So, nag-start tayo ng 11 degrees Celsius. And then, it rose, it means tumaas. Okay? So, the movement or our number line is pakanan. So, steps tayo ng 23 and then mag-stop tayo sa 34. Okay? So, 34 degrees Celsius will be the temperature at noon. Okay? So, if we use the operation, so since ang keyword natin is rose, it rose or tumaas, so the operation is addition, okay? So we have 11 plus 23, the answer is the same, which is 34 degrees Celsius. The highest point in Asia is Mount Everest at 8,850 meters. The shore of the Dead Sea, the lowest point in Asia, is about 410 meters below sea level. What is the difference between these elevations? Okay, so again, we're asking for the difference between the highest point and the lowest point. Okay, so this is the Mount Everest and yung highest point niya or yung peak, that is 8,850 meters above the ground, okay? And then yung Dead Sea, yung lowest point niya or yung pinakailalim, that is 410 meters below sea level, okay? So again, it's negative kasi nasa ilalim ng dagat. So we're asking for the difference. So ang inhanap lang is yung distance between the highest point and the lowest point. So susukatin natin siya. So kung bibilangin mo yung steps dyan, that is 9,260 meters. Okay? So that is the answer. That is the difference between the highest and the lowest point. Now, if we will use the operation, the keyword is difference. So the operation that we're going to use is subtraction. So we have 8,850 minus negative 410. Okay? So again, subtracting integers means adding the opposite. So the subtraction will become adding, and the opposite of negative 410 is positive 410. So we have now 8,850 plus 410, and the answer is 9,260 meters. Practice time. So guys, I want you to answer all the word problems na sinagutan natin kanina. And this time, kayo na lang, okay? So I want you to check kung may natutunan kayo or kaya nyo nang mag-add and mag-minus ng integers and apply yan sa real-life scenarios, okay? So in any case, nahihirapan pa kayo or nagugulhan about adding and subtracting integers, I would suggest na panoorin yung previous video ko about integers para mas lalo nyo siyang maintindihan, okay?